In the day's other headlines, the U.S. Supreme Court threw out the murder conviction of Oklahoma death row inmate Richard Glossip, saying he is entitled to a new trial. The state's attorney general said they will pursue one. In a rare instance of agreement, both his lawyers and the state claimed Glossip did not receive a fair trial after a key witness lied in court. The 62-year-old was convicted and sentenced to death for the 1997 killing of his former boss, a motel owner. He has long maintained his innocence. Glossip's attorney wrote of the ruling, "Today was a victory for justice and fairness in our judicial system." In Chicago, a Southwest Airlines plane nearly collided with a smaller business jet this morning. A live stream shows the larger aircraft coming in for a landing before suddenly ascending again to avoid the smaller jet as it was crossing the runway. You see it there. Officials say the business jet entered the runway without authorization. The Southwest plane circled back around and arrived safely later. The near miss comes as federal aviation officials investigate several recent safety incidents, including last month's deadly midair collision in Washington, D.C. The World Health Organization is sounding the alarm over a mystery illness in northwestern Congo that has killed more than 50 people. The outbreak was initially traced to a remote village. Doctors say many of the deaths happened within just 48 hours after symptoms started. That was in late January. More than 400 cases have been recorded since. Doctors say symptoms are similar to Ebola and dengue, but tests have ruled those out. Some tests were positive for malaria, which was determined as the likely cause of another mystery outbreak last year. In Rome, Pope Francis remains in critical but stable condition. Vatican officials said today that his blood functions are holding steady and he's had no new respiratory problems. The 88-year-old was even well enough to resume some of his papal duties from the hospital as he battles double pneumonia. The Vatican says he met with top church officials to approve sainthood designations. Outside the hospital, his followers gathered to pray for his recovery.
Per I credenti la preghiera è l'ossigeno, no?
For believers, prayer is the oxygen of our life. It is hope. It is what makes us feel united. For us, it is like going to visit someone we know. We don't know how things are going, but we stay close to them with prayer.
On Saturday, Pope Francis suffered what doctors called an asthma-like respiratory crisis that required supplemental oxygen. The Vatican has not reported any such scares since. In the UK, more than 1,000 musicians released a protest album today that takes aim at the use of artificial intelligence. The album is called Is This What We Want? It features quite literally the sound of silence from empty recording studios. The track list of 12 songs forms the sentence, the British government must not legalize music theft to benefit AI companies. Artists and composers, including Cat Stevens, Annie Lennox, Hans Zimmer, and others, say proposed changes to UK copyright law could allow tech companies to train AI with popular songs. The artists fear that could rob them of creative control. On Wall Street today, stocks ended mixed after a reading on U.S. consumer confidence dropped sharply. The Dow Jones Industrial Average gained nearly 160 points, but the Nasdaq headed in the other direction, falling 260 points. The S&P 500 ended lower for a fourth straight session. And some good news from space. NASA says the asteroid that once had a small but very real chance of hitting our planet is no longer a threat. At one point, scientists believed the space rock had a nearly 3% chance of hitting the Earth in the year 2032. But now, both NASA and the European Space Agency say the chance of impact is nearly zero. And while Earth is in the clear, scientists say there's still a small chance it could hit our moon in 2032. Well, still to come on the NewsHour, House Republicans work to pass a Trump-approved budget bill. Gazans try to rebuild their destroyed homes and lives as the ceasefire with Israel holds. And we speak with the NASA astronauts who've been in space for months longer than planned and are now scheduled to return.
This is the PBS NewsHour from the David M. Rubenstein studio at WETA in Washington and in the West from the Walter Cronkite School of Journalism at Arizona State University.